Well, good morning everyone and welcome to a beautiful Cornwall. Absolutely stunning down here this morning. So I'm right over on the west coast of Cornwall here, not too far from Sennen Cove and St Just. Beautiful spot, and the plan today was just to actually try and do a bit of infrared photography. Haven't done it for a very long time. I was trying to think when I last did it. I think it's possibly when I was studying photography at college back in the late 1990s. I remember getting some really good images, and I haven't really done it since. I don't know why I haven't done it since. I thought I'd give it a go today. It's not really the best time of year. You really want high summer. The brighter the conditions, the better. But it's pretty sunny today, so I'm going to have a little drive around, see if I can find some images. Bit of an experiment, really. I don't know what they'll come out like, but a bit of practice, really, because in the summertime I'm hoping to do a bit more. So I'm going to get a shot here and just go up the coast again, see if I can find some nice images. So I've just set up the camera to be able to do the infrared photography. There are a couple of bits you do need, and one of them is a filter. And this one's the Rollei RZ67. Basically what that does, it stops all light, apart from the infrared light, coming through your lens and hitting your film. So it's essential you have one of those. You stick that one on, and you will need some infrared film as well. I'm using Rollei 400, and that's an infrared film. There are a couple of others available, but I do believe the Rollei is probably the best. So you've got that, you've got your film, and you just need a shutter release. Get your shutter release. Tripod, because your exposure times are going to be longer, because the filter, I think you need about 6 stops of compensation to get the right exposure. So your times are going to be around about the second mark on a day like today, quite bright. Right, so I'm all set up. I've got on the 110mm lens, and it's at f16, and that's at half a second. So I've just stopped here. I quite like the scene here. It's very simple, just with the cottage there, with all like the grasses and brambles in the foreground. So I'm going to grab a quick shot here before I get back in my car. Same settings as before, half a second, f16, 110mm lens. So I pulled over at Pendine Lighthouse, one of my favourite places to photograph actually. Just going to get a couple of shots here. I'm going to get one from this angle. I like the way the road and the fence lead you down towards the lighthouse there. With the infrared, again obviously with the infrared, I'm not quite sure how it's going to turn out. I'm hoping the grass goes quite white and the sky goes quite black, that's the idea. But who knows, it's all a bit of an experiment. So I'm going to grab a shot here and perhaps get one more, probably from the other side. Oh, it feels good to sit down for 5 minutes. Such heavy equipment, that medium format outfit with all the lenses. I think the backpack weighs about 16 to 20 kilos. which is pretty hefty. It's about the same as a bag of coal, I think. So you really do feel it after a while. But it's worth having all the gear, you know. I always regret it if I don't bring something with me. So yeah, I've managed to get 2 shots here at Pendine, and I've got 2 shots back at Nanjulian. So I'm going to head back up the coast, see if I can find some more locations to use up this infrared film. Absolutely stunning, really warm today, starting to feel like spring. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm just going to say a quick thank you to everyone that's subscribed to my channel and liked my videos. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, if you could, it'd be absolutely amazing. I'd really appreciate it. It's absolutely free, it doesn't cost you anything. It just means it helped to get my channel out there and other people to see it. So if you got the time just to subscribe, I'd really appreciate it, and that'd be absolutely amazing. Right, so I'm going to pack my gear up and head up the coast. It's hard to leave here at the moment. Oh, you can spend a day down here, it's absolutely beautiful. So I pulled over at Shipwreck Church, absolutely stunning church. Just going to grab a couple of shots. I've set one up here. I've put on the 50mm wide angle lens so I can incorporate more of the foreground, which I'm hoping will be quite white. The grass turns white from the infrared. A couple of the stones in the foreground, church in the background, and quite a blue sky with a nice sort of banding of cloud there. So I'm hoping the sky will turn quite black and the clouds will be quite white, so a nice contrast. And again, hopefully, white grass, and it should make quite a nice little image. So I'll get one here, I'll probably get one from the side, and then carry on my ways. Settings wise, I don't know if I told you or not, I put the 50mm lens on, and again I'm at f16, and that's giving me a shutter speed of half a second. That seems to be the settings for today. It might get a little bit longer as that sun goes down a bit, but that's what I'm shooting at the moment. So I'm going to grab a quick one here. So I've got 2 shots here at Shipwreck. Interested to see how they come out. It's all really a big experiment with this infrared film because it's been over 20 years since I last shot it properly. So it's all a bit trial and error, which is okay, it's all good fun. So I've made it into a small woods on the way to, well, it's quite close to St Ives, and it's a beautiful woods. I've been here a few times, and I never see anyone here at all, and I don't understand why, because it's such a stunning location. Really is, and I never see anyone. A bit off the tracks. I don't suppose a lot of people know where it is. But yeah, so I'm going to try and get 2 shots here. I'm going to be completely honest, woodland photography is not my thing at all. I am terrible at it. I mean, I am so bad at it. I just try and avoid it at all costs. But I've got time for a change, you know. I've got to work on the areas that you know, I really struggle with, and this is definitely one of them. So the plan is here, I've got set up a composition. It's 3 trees, 1, 2, 3 in a row, nicely lit there on the side, and there's some sort of saplings here moving around with some nice light on them. It's quite a tight crop here with the 110mm lens. I'm hoping with the infrared film, I haven't done it for 20 odd years, so anything's possible, but I'm expecting it to turn white, the leaves. That's the idea. And with a longer exposure here, because I'm in the woods, we'll get a nice bit of movement there. So yeah, I'm gonna get one here. Could come out okay, but then it might be absolutely rubbish. So I'm gonna grab this one. Shutter speed, I'm gonna go for 6 seconds, and that's at f16. Get this one, and then I'm gonna try and get one more here. And then the plan is to head to the beach, much more in my comfort zone, I must admit, and just finish up the shots there, really. So I'm going to crack on. So I've been wandering around for a good 10 minutes now, trying to find that second shot, and I'm definitely not finding anything at the moment. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes or so, see if I can find something. But I'm pretty keen to get to my next location anyway, so if I can't find that next image, I'm not going to worry too much about it. It would just be nice to get a couple here. I'm going to keep looking. You never know, fingers crossed I find something. But damn, this photography is hard in the woods. It really, really is difficult. So I'm going to go for this composition here. I quite like it, it's just quite a simple composition. The tree there with the branches hanging down, and I like the fact all these trees behind it are new leaf there. Nice and bright there in the sunlight. I'm hoping they turn white with the infrared filter, but it should do, I don't see why not. I have got a little bit of sky in there, and I'm hoping that is darkened down as well by the filter, so it's not too distracting. Yeah, so I'm going to get a shot here. Settings wise, I'm at f16 and I've got an exposure time of 2 seconds, and I'm on the 110mm lens. So I've made it to my final destination for today, which is Grivian. I'm up in the dunes at the moment, and I'm at a bench here. I have photographed it before, but I particularly like it. I love the fact it's got all moss all over it. It's got lovely textures there. And it has actually fallen apart a bit more since the last time I was here, which I quite like. The front rut there's fallen down onto the grass. So I'm going to grab a shot here. I'm interested to see what it looks like in infrared. So settings wise, I'm at f16 and exposure time is 1 second. So I've set the camera up here. I really like the scene. It's a Gadrufi Lighthouse in the distance, with all the grasses here in the foreground. I've set the camera up so the lighthouse is just popping out above the grasses, and I've stuck on my 250mm lens to give you a nice tight cropping on it. Settings wise, I'm at f22 and it's giving me an exposure time of 1 second. So I've set the camera up here. I quite like this scene. Got the lighthouse in the distance there, and this stack of rock on the beach on its own, and the grass is just clipping the bottom of the frame. I'm going to time it right to try and catch a couple of surfers walking up the beach. Settings wise, 110mm lens, f22, 1 second. So I'm out on the cliffs today, in between Sen and Land's End in the far west of Cornwall. It's a beautiful afternoon. We had absolutely glorious weather in Cornwall here the last sort of 6 or 7 days. It's been sunny every day, it's been lovely. So I come out this evening, the clocks have actually gone forward 1 hour today, so I get an extra hour of light. So I think sunset's around about 7:30 p.m. So I'm going to have a walk up and down the coast, see if I can find some nice images. Probably just shoot 1 roll, possibly 2. I haven't got a huge amount of time, so maybe just one roll. I'm actually going to go down, I'm going to show you in a second. There's a shipwreck, it's called the Mulheim, and it was shipwrecked here in 2003. I remember when it happened because I wasn't driving at the time, so I cycled all the way over from Penzance, which is about 10 miles, to come and have a look. It's an incredible thing to witness. Obviously now it's just the remnants left of what was there, but you can climb down there and have a look. So I'm going to have a wander down there, see if I can get down there safely and try and get some images down there. So welcome to the Moorheim. As you can see, it's an absolute wreck. It's been here about 20 years now. The plan was just to walk around and get a few photos. Sun's just poking down over there, so getting some nice light on it, some nice textures and things, so just gonna get a few close-up shots and things. What a beauty. Hopefully the black and white will pick it up nicely. Yeah, so I'm gonna go have a walk around and get some photos, see what we can get. It's an absolutely beautiful end to the day. Going to get a really nice sunset here probably. I only got black and white film with me today, so not ideal for sunsets, but you never know. Still gives a nice light and tonality. So the plan is, I've shot one roll of film. I haven't really talked about much what I'm shooting. I'm basically shooting Ilford Delta 3200 again, basically because I've got loads of it and nothing else. Why not? So I'm using that. I've shot one roll of film. Settings wise, most of my shots have been around about f5.6 at 1/125th of a second, apart from the ones shooting towards the sun, which obviously I've had to stop down a bit. But yeah, it's been lovely. I think I might load up one more roll, because there's potential for a couple of nice landscape shots here once that sun goes down a bit, or even just before maybe, I'm not even sure, but it doesn't get any better than this. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely beautiful. It's worth coming down. If you're ever in the area, it is quite treacherous to get down, I'm not going to lie. It's pretty slippy and there's rusty bits of boats everywhere, so be particularly careful. But when you do get down here, it's well worth it. Just make sure you come during a low swell, because obviously at Land's End here, seas can get really, really big. Low swell, low tide, and you'll be absolutely fine. Yeah. So one more roll of film and just see what happens from there really. Just going to enjoy this sun for a bit. So I've set the camera up here looking out towards Longship's Lighthouse in the distance and the sun just setting off to the right there. Lovely soft light here on the foreground on the rocks, and also the rocks coming down from Land's End going out to sea there. I've stuck on a free-stop graduated filter and that's just going to try and bring down that sky a little bit. And exposure wise it is 1/250th of a second at f11. Yeah, it's should be a nice image, this one.